In Delta North, the question on many minds is simple but significant. Who goes to the Senate in 2027? Will it be former Governor Okowa, a seasoned political figure with deep roots in the state's leadership structure, or the incumbent Senator Ned Nwoko, who is seeking to retain his seat and continue his legislative agenda? This emerging face-off is not just about personalities. It's now about influence, political legacy, party dynamics, and the direction of representation for the people of Delta North. To help us unpack the issues, the stakes, and what this contest could mean for the Senatorial District and Delta States, I'm joined by Ofoji Benjamin Atagana, convener of the Coalition of Delta North Youths. But welcome to the program, Mr. Benjamin. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Olajumoke.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Great to have you. Thank you. So tonight's conversation is one that is already stirring debates across Delta State and beyond. And just recently, the people of Delta North listened to their traditional rulers, key stakeholders, warning against any premature endorsement of any aspirants, just as they plan to, resolve those differences between former Governor Okowa, who is a 7th senator, I do apologize, Deputy Governor of the state, former Governor of the state, and Ned Nwoko, who is a 7th senator. So clearly, like I said, this is more than a political rivalry. Where do people like you stand?
Okay, first I want to put it on record here that this is not about distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko, but rather this is about the fight against corruption, because we as a people, we have been struggling with this, what I would call cancer in this country, Nigeria. And what is that cancer? It is corruption. If you will recall, sometime during the administration of late President Muhammadu Buhari, he was quoted to say, if we do not kill corruption, corruption will kill Nigeria. So against the backdrop of that statement, we are the Coalition of Delta North Youths. We decided to say, wait a minute, what is happening with the allegation of the diversion of the sum of 1.3 trillion as alleged by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and also the 40 billion naira, which was the subject matter of the arrests of the former governor of Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Ato Okowa. So for us, it is not about politics of who goes to the Senate or not. It is about the fight against corruption. Because, as I said, if we do not fight corruption,
all right,
and ensure that it is drastically reduced or eliminated, that will continue to plague us as a people.
All right.
Thank
you.
All
right, Mr. Benjamin. I beg to differ when you say this is not about politics, but fighting corruption in Delta North. And it's also very important to say that this is an important group, I suppose. You do not speak or represent every young person in Delta North. Having said that, another truth is that some voters see this as a choice between experience and continuity versus a fresh push. And interestingly, I have read a statement from some of your members who say the season of one-man rule is over. And according to them, this is more than 3 decades of virtually uninterrupted political dominance by a single individual over a people who deserve diversity, inclusion, and opportunity in governance. So I'm asking you directly, just because you're here tonight, why should voters prioritize continuity with Senator Nwoko instead of returning to former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa?
Okay, thank you, Olajumoke. Like I said, this is not about distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko Rather, it is about corruption. Yeah, sometime ago, those of us at the Coalition of the North Youth, we organized a press briefing wherein we categorically rejected the ambition of Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa to go back to the Senate. The reason is that it is our belief that when such a huge allegation, which from our sources has shown that the EFCC have built a watertight case against Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, the former governor, but because of our culture, what I would say, culture of shielding those who have been alleged to have pilfered, to have diverted public fund, is something that to us we think, okay, yeah, everything, politics is in everything, but for this particular case, it is not the politics per se, but it is about the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission going ahead after they had concluded their investigation, because they've concluded the investigation. If you recall, sometime in November 2024, Senator Dr. Okowa was arrested and detained for some couple of days before he was released.
All right, Mr.
Then, let's not forget, then he was in...
Please, can you hold on? The question you have asked is Senator Dr. Okowa's membership of the ruling party a shield against this prosecution? And I'm sure you know that's a serious allegation. So what evidence do you have that Ifeanyi Okowa is being protected because of party affiliation?
Apparently, it's apparent that he's being protected because...
Do you have evidence? It's not about apparently. Do you have an evidence? Do you have what to show that indeed is
just a moment. Just a moment, Olajumoke. Yeah, how better can we provide evidence? Because someone who was detained and the investigation carried that and concluded with a watertight case built against him. At the time he was in the PDP. Let's not forget he was the former vice presidential candidate of the PDP in 2023. Few months afterward, he was arrested, detained in November, and released afterwards. Few months. In April 2025. In April 2025, he moved.
Please hold on, sir. It is out there that Ifeanyi Okowa has a case with the EFCC, but I will not allow you to continue with such allegation if you cannot substantiate it. Are you aware of any official statements from the EFCC concerning this claim?
Like I said, we petitioned the EFCC against the backdrop of the fact that we have concrete information, which of course I because of the sensitivity of the subject matter, I cannot come here to begin to mention my sources. However, there is a watertight case against the former governor Okowa. There is a watertight case, and I tell you, the EFCC is waiting. Probably they are waiting for maybe order from the presidency to proceed with the prosecution.
Benjamin,
it's a sensitive matter.
Go on with that. Another allegation you have made is delay in arraigning Ifeanyi Okowa proves political manipulation. And I would like to ask, delays in legal processes in Nigeria are common in this part of the country. So what makes this case uniquely political rather than procedural? Do you have insight into the case, the file, investigations, or legal bottlenecks? If you do not, I'm sure you know it is important that for your own sake and because I don't want to be sued, it is important for you to stop making claims you cannot substantiate. I hope you understand.
Like I said, I have my sources. They can go to court I have my sources that the EFCC have built a watertight case against Senator Dr. Fanny Okowa. I am not afraid of being sued. Of course, he has the resources.
All right.
He should go ahead. But the fact remains that Senator Dr. Okowa has a case to answer, and I am calling on the EFCC to proceed with the prosecution, because we cannot, if we must be serious about the fight against corruption, we cannot continue to shield certain class of people, maybe because of their political affiliation or the other. I am calling, the coalition of Delta North Youth, we are calling on the EFCC to proceed with the arraignment and prosecution of Senator Dr. Fanny Okowa. They have good case against him.
Let me play the devil's advocate, because recently former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa says Delta North people desire Anioma State to be created as part of the South-South geopolitical zone and not a block of the Southeast. Is this also because it's not part of the Anioma State agenda, and that's why you're coming up with some of these allegations?
Okay, talking about Anioma State creation, I can confidently tell you, as one of the critical stakeholders in the agitation for the creation of Anioma State, that we, the people, are Igbos. I am an Okwani man. Precisely from Obiaroko, the headquarters of Kwanli government area. We are Igbos. From the days of the First Republic, when we were in the Western region, we were being referred to as Western Igbos. When in 1963, Midwest was created, we were referred to as Midwest Igbos. From there on to Bender State, we were referred to as Bender. I believe all of these are facts that you are aware of. So when we are in the current Delta State, we are still being referred to as Delta Igbo. Now tell me, we carry the toga of Igbo, we carry the identity of Igbo. Our ancestry is obviously Igbo, even though it is not homogeneous. Is there anything wrong if we are reunited with our Igbo brothers across the Niger? Because what separates what you refer to as Southeast and Anioma is just the River Niger. It's just the River Niger.
All right.
So there is nothing that should stop us, if not for the politics of identity crisis, if not for the politics of who wants to get what. I see no reason why Senator Dr. Fanny Okowa should be opposed to the creation of Anioma State in the Southeast. We are Igbos. I am a proud Igbo man.
All right then.
In Delta State.
All right, Mr. Benjamin, great place to leave this conversation, and I wish you all the best in this fight against former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. Thank you very much for speaking with me. Ofoche Benjamin Atagana is the convener of the Coalition of Delta North Youths. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Let's go on another short break, and when we return, we turn attention to the endorsement of Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat by President Bola Tinubu. Please stay with us, everyone.